Good morning, Moten Scholars. Welcome back. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Today is May 11th, and we are going to get started on week 8. We're now in week 8 and day 1 lesson. Okay, so our objective for today is I can define domain specific vocabulary words. What are domain specific vocabulary words? These are words that you will see as you read and write about the process of discovery and inventions. This is a topic that we have been on for the last few weeks, and we're going to go ahead and uh, speak about that some more and talk about innovations and inventors and the process of invention. So today we are going to look at these words. I want you to say the words as I pronounce them. I will introduce you to our new vocabulary words. The first one is sensational. Say sensational. The second word is spectacular. Spectacular. The next word is product. Product. The next word is critter. Critter. And the last word is ban. Ban. Okay, so these are our vocabulary words for the week. So throughout the week, we will first start out today by defining our words. And then after we define our words, we will use an activity called the Frayer Chart, which a lot of you are familiar with because we've used this chart in the past. So we're going to do some fun activities with our vocabulary words. The more we use, the more we work with our words and use activities such as the Frayer Chart, we become more familiar with these words, and it helps us to better understand how not only how to pronounce them and how to define them, but how to use them. Okay, so that is going to be very important. These words are learning these new vocabulary words are going to be very useful for us when we are reading our articles that relates to a particular topic, and these words will give us a better understanding of the text. So that is one important thing that we need to learn is that these words, when you learn new vocabulary, it builds your vocabulary, and that helps when you have a strong vocabulary. That gives you more skills. It gives you more comprehension in reading. It gives you a better understanding of what you're reading. So it just makes the whole picture very clear. And when it's clear, it's easy for you to answer questions about what you read when you understand what you read. Okay, so let's look at one of the activities that we're going to do, I'm going to model for you. The activity one is very user friendly. I mean, you will only be defining your words, okay? In this second activity, you're going to be using the Frayer chart, something that we have used in the past. And I'm going to model for you how this Frayer chart works. So you're given a vocabulary word, and you will see on your chart in your packet or the online virtual packet, whichever you're using, you will see the vocabulary word will be centered here. Okay? And I hope that most of you are using your online packet because it makes it so much easier for me to grade and communicate notes and revisions that I may make on your work. It makes it a lot easier for us to communicate those things, and you can take a look at the marks or the notes that I've made and learn from that and maybe revise it and send it back. So it's just a better line of communication if you're working online in your virtual packet. So if you're having problems and can't get to your online virtual packet, please notify me and I will work with you to help you get set up so that we can, keep a good communication with grading, revising, and reviewing. Okay? So let's look at the Frayer chart. My example word is, I'm going to use this word, confusing. Okay? Just to model how the chart works. So in the first box, it asks for the definition of the word confusing. So, I just want you to give me a brief definition, nothing very long. So I'm going to say, not clear. When I think of something that is confusing, I think of something that's not clear. Okay? Now, the second box asks for a characteristic. A characteristic. What could I think of? A characteristic of confusing. I would say hard to follow. That's a characteristic. So here I'm going to write hard to follow. Okay. And then over here in my third box, it asks for an example. What can you think of that is hard to follow, that is confusing, and that is not clear? Let me see. Hard to follow, not clear is the definition. I'm going to say amaze. Amaze. Does everyone know what a maze is? Of course you do. Yeah, a maze is very confusing. It's not something that's clear. It's something you have to find your way through, and you may go down one way and that's the wrong way. You turn around and go the other way and that's not right. And you just get all twisted, but it takes a while to find your way out. Okay, so I'm going to use a maze as an example of something that is confusing. Now, let's look over here at the non-example. Now, what could I think of? That non-example means to give me something that is opposite of the word confusing. So for the non-example, I'm looking for something that is opposite than not clear. Something opposite of hard to follow. What could I say? What could I find that is opposite of a maze or opposite of something that is hard to follow? So we can ask ourselves, okay, what is opposite of hard to follow? I'm going to ask for some help out of the audience. Jalen Fears, what is opposite of hard to follow? Good job, Jalen. Good job. Jalen says easy to follow. Absolutely. That's the opposite of hard to follow. Okay, so now we know what the opposite of this word is. We said, Jalen says easy to follow. Let's think of something that's easy to follow for our non-example. Who can tell me? Who can give me an example of something that's easy to follow? Let's see. I think I'll call on, how about Jalen Patterson? Let's hear from Jalen Patterson. Give me an example, Jalen, of something that's easy to follow. One more second, Jalen. Good job, Jalen Patterson. Jalen said directions or direction sign. Okay, I like that. I'm going to take that. Let's say a direction sign. That's a very good non-example because it is just the opposite of hard to follow. Okay? And it's opposite of my example. So, our word confusing has a definition of not clear, a characteristic of hard to follow. An example is a maze, and a non example is a direction sign. That is absolutely right. This is what each one of your vocabulary words should be done in your Frayer chart. It should be completed for each one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vocabulary words. You should have 5 Frayer charts. Okay? I hope that's clear, and I'm sure you guys will do a good job on this. And call me or video me if you have any questions. But meanwhile, I will be checking in on you. Okay? Have fun, guys. I'll see you soon.